seriously, I just need to be in, just go to the first page, because they actually give you a better list. MASBC. I know, I used to hate it when people go flying through stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing, I can't, where'd you go, I don't know what you clicked on. I just clicked on stuff, people. Okay. Closing viewpoint. Issues of interest. Business and economics. Medicare, smoking. See how you've got. See, I'm getting hot. That's getting to me. You know, if you want to look through, but then again, you can just do the death penalty or capital punishment, and there's tons of stuff out there. Okay, that's my best advice I can give you.
I have a lot of time on my hands today, so.
Okay, and try to come to class Thursday with a computer, okay? I'd appreciate that.
You have a good one.
You too. Wow. Oh, wow. I'm visiting my last school this Friday. I go to New Deal, and then I'm done. I'm not gonna make it to Last Buddy, which is 90 miles that way. I'm not going. I'm gonna say, I am so sorry, Lauren, but my car has got, I have the check engine light on. It's been on since Friday night, and I can't get my car into my people till Thursday. So I'm driving like 40 miles. I'm a little old lady driving 40 miles an hour. Drives me crazy. Okay. Get into the next section. Make this smaller so I can see. I was pleased by how many of my students managed to, did you guys manage to turn in thesis statements and the points? That was the kind of thing I asked you to work on over the weekend?
Turn in what?
There's actually a spot for you to turn in. I'm giving you extra credit for it.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Where's the deal?
Have you got it with you? Okay, good. We can talk about it. It's just, I have to have somewhere for the kids at the schools to turn it in at. And I thought if I'm gonna make you do that, I might as well give you some money. 5 points is the money for it, okay? Let's see. Let me check for course messages. I don't have any. This is probably my smallest class when it comes to, and the connection went cuckoo. Oh, there, we have the wallet post. No, that's New Deal, okay. Awesome. Okay, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 people who've turned them in. That's awesome. Awesome, awesome. But just as a heads up, it's extra credit, so. But on Thursday, you need to bring some way to access the ebook, okay? Whether it's on a laptop or on your phone. It's hard to read on the phone, though. To be honest, when you're talking about, you know, that small of a screen, you can, there's only 4 words on it. I can read 4 words in, a millisecond. I need lots of text, because I read fast. Up to 5 million children have lost parents during the pandemic. Ugh. That's interesting. Okay. I should tell y'all, my last football game for my grandson in the 7th grade, he recovered a fumble and tried to run it. I wasn't there. I was grading papers at home, but my daughter was very excited, as was my husband. So that's the how I said, did you get it on video? And my daughter goes, no. I said, maybe the coaches recorded the game, and you might be able to find it that way. You know. I mean, that may never happen again. He may not play. My son played 1 year of football, and it was 7th grade, and he made the mistake one time in practice of going with the lineman, and my son was about this big around at the time. And I swear, he got tackled a couple of times, and I swear that made his appendix leak for months. He was sick as a dog from fall until, I mean, he had all kinds of tests run on him until right before spring break, and we put him in the hospital, and the doctor ran all these tests and said, we can't find anything wrong. And so we were gonna take him home on Saturday morning, and the doctor said, let's just do a CAT scan real quick, so, see if there's anything there. His appendix had ruptured, and he was rushed into emergency surgery. So, so he didn't have to do anything in the rest of his classes, that was his 8th grade year, the rest of his 8th grade year. The rest of his 8th grade year. So, he had that philosophy when he was in high school, the first couple of years, said, I have to do my work, I had my appendix rupture. I should be able to get 2 or 3 years out of not having to do any work, so. Okay. Hi, good morning, New Deal. So I have, Cooper's gone this week, Crosby's gone at state marching contest, and, New Deal will be gone next week. So, that's, gonna be interesting, but at least there's not quite as much going on. So. Yeah, it's hard for big schools in this area to make it to the finals in state marching contest. We just don't have that funding that they have in the Dallas area. I mean, when you look, it's a lot of Dallas area, a lot of Austin. It's hard to break in the finals. So I'm guessing the Cooper kids are headed back today. You've got McCallum, Colleyville, Hendrickson, Forney, Dripping Springs, Friendswood, Wakeland, Aledo, Cedar Park, Highland Park. There's your money, right? And where are you from, Lori? Where'd you go to? Yeah. So I thought I drove that in. Okay, I need to get her to split the screen. It remembered that, I typed that earlier, split the screen, please, okay. Yeah, Leander or Rouse, Leander's down by Austin, we're just aware of that. Let's see, Crosby's marching, maybe right now, possibly. Let me check their schedule. But I wasn't prepared for them to do 1, 3, 5, 8 this week, and 2, 4, 6, 8 next week. So, but I've only got one band. Oh, they don't march until later on today. Yeah, they don't march. Oh, wait. They march at Interfield 11. They don't march till noon. So, but they are probably close to where they're supposed to be. But like for the 5A schools, there's 33 schools marching. For the 1A schools, there's 17. Seems to be an imbalance in how many schools get to go based on how big you are. So, it just seems a little unfair. Okay, there we go. Good morning, Post. Morning, New Deal. If you go into class, you're going to see that in week 10, I put an extra credit, the thesis and topic sentences, thesis statement and your points for that. So if you guys will get that in today, I'll still give you extra credit. And I'm gonna go over the ones that have been submitted. I think they're all from
unknown caller.
I don't know who that is, but I'm not gonna respond to them. Okay. It wasn't my daughter for a change. Okay. Okay. So first, and what's really neat, okay, let me make sure that I'm down where I need to be. If I missed some, there may be more in there. Okay. Alex, you are the first one in. Woohoo! Okay. You got your thesis and major points.
Oh, I did do it?
Well, yeah, you did. You did. Okay. So, all right, so you're writing about the fact that rapists are not getting severe enough penalties, okay? Okay, so I'm gonna make that a bit bigger. So this is what I'm gonna do today. So if you didn't get it in, get out a laptop. I know I didn't get any from post, so let's get those in. If you've got access to one here, you can do that. Or you can write out and hand it to me and then type it in later, okay? So you can get the extra credit. So, what we gotta work on, rapists should be getting longer and harsher sentences. Okay. Okay, no, where's that at? I'm trying to figure where I'm supposed to write at. Okay. Rapist, we need to make it plural, all right? Rapist should, how about not should, must receive harsher sentences because, so I'm going back down and look at yours. I'm trying to make it a firm statement. I saw yesterday that I had a lot of students who had done informative essays. Sports helps kids be healthier, learn positive characteristics, and make friends. That's not argumentative. You gotta say, okay, so you've gotta make sure it's argumentative. Okay, so we've gotta get that. Well, so what are your reasons? Hold on. Now, what I'm running into is that happened. Okay. Morning, Isaiah. Oh, everybody's here. Oh. Excuse me, someone sneezed. Sorry. Allergies. And the leaves are starting to fall off the trees, and so now all the dust on those leaves is now landing, and I'm getting, because, the justice system is too lenient, is that correct? Victims are not, victims are what? What have you found out about victims?
Well, the ones that I've read, they're usually like, they don't get the justice that they think they do.
Okay. Victims are, how about if we just say treated poorly? That'll get us going, okay. Let me make this bigger so it can be seen. And, well, I'm trying to think. I'm just gonna put repeat offenders, and many become repeat offenders. I'll just do that, okay? And that's to get you going. So that, because we really need, you're gonna need at least 2 points. So we've got that with the justice system is too lenient, victims are treated poorly. That might be enough. But remember, you have to hit that 600 words. You guys have seen, if you didn't hit 600 words, guess what? You lost points. So if you only wrote 400 words, or let's say you only wrote 150 words, or, 450 words, that's 25% short of the required amount of 600. So you lose 25 points off the top of your grade. That's why there's a minimum on it. You have to hit that minimum. So make sure you're doing that. And what might happen is, if you only have 2 points, you need to go out there and find some more source information. And one of the things I was doing today with the 8 o'clock class is that they would have something in there, but they'd only have 1 or 2 points. We try to come up with a third point. And you don't have to be on the databases to come up with the third point. You can do some searching on the internet sometimes and find things you need. That did not help. Go back over here to needs grading. There's all those summary and paraphrases waiting to be graded, but I still have to finish all the rest of them. All right, Jaden, you're up. Let's see what you're doing. There are many factors to think about when buying an electric vehicle. Okay, including efficiency. This is not, it's not, what are we arguing? You see where I'm at? It says there are many factors to think about when buying an electric vehicle, including efficiency, charging capability, and type of vehicle. So what are we arguing? That we should not have electric vehicles, or that you should? What do you think, Jaden? Help me out here. I just saw you on Friday. So are we saying that electric vehicles are not are not a viable alternative to gasoline? Is that what you're gonna argue, Jaden? Help me out here. What you have right now is not argumentative, it's informative. But everything is negative. So what we've got to then think about is, you have to go, electric vehicles are not, see how that's why I'm making a statement that can be argued, are not viable alternatives to gasoline-powered ones because, whoops. Okay, so let's see. There aren't enough charging stations, is that right? They're not efficient, they're not as efficient, okay. They are not, sorry, typed too fast, are not as efficient, because there are not enough charging stations, and I did better remembering his points. And the type of, I don't know how you can say that some types of electric vehicles don't work the same as motor powered. Why does that make them bad? And Jaden, wave at me. Are you there, Jaden? Wave at me. Okay. So how is the fact that the motors aren't the same as the other kind, how is that a negative? Yeah, so I'm trying to get you to help think of that. But how about if we just say, and the cost is prohibitive? Would that be a good start? I'm trying to bring in an economic factor. Electric cars are more expensive, aren't they? Okay. So the cost is prohibitive, or something along those lines. So we've got to make sure if what you're going to argue, that what you're arguing, you are arguing and not informing. This is argumentative, not informative. So thumbs up. This will work for you to start out to go on with, Jaden? Yes, no? Okay. I'm not getting a reaction, so I'm just going to go with it. Okay. So next up is Macy. Hey, Macy. Wave at me. Come on, Macy, wave. Is she not there? Where is she? She's hiding. Ah, okay, you're hiding over there. All right. You guys should have gotten your graded paperbacks. Do you see my eyeballs that I'm watching you guys? I drew eyeballs on their papers. Oh, is your dad making that happen? How nice of him. How nice of him. Let's see. Okay. Manufacturing only electric cars in the future will not be beneficial because assembling defeats the purpose of their creation. Reliability on power sources, downfall of the economy, and the oil industry, engine alternatives. Okay, so you don't quite have all of those points in there. So we got to make it one sentence. Goes right here. Because I'm lazy.
Miss Thompson?
Hold on, I'm coming over so I can hear. Talk to me.
Talk to her.
Do I tell her?
Yeah.
I didn't type it that way. I guess whenever you submit it, it turned a little different. But all the ones with the dash in front of them, they're supposed to be entered below.
Okay. That's okay. We still need to make your thesis contain your point. So that's what we're going to work on right now. Okay? I just don't want to have to retype those words. I'm getting lazy in my old age. Hey, New Deal, I'll be up there Friday to see you guys. Because unreliable power sources, that's what I read as your first point. Reliability on power, downfall of the economy, the damage done to the oil and gas industry. Let me go with economic damage done. I believe that's oil and gas industry. And engine alternatives. I'm not really sure what you mean by engine alternatives. Are you saying hybrid? And hybrid would be more efficient? I don't know. Efficient. I don't know. Is that what you mean by that? I mean, does anybody have a hybrid that's both electric? You do? Is it good? Does it run well?
It's just smooth, it's quiet.
It's quiet? Okay. And that might be the way to go, is that we have a hybrid. I just was throwing in there, because I'm not really sure what you meant by your last point about, engine alternatives. Okay? So, but that'll get you going, all right? The good news is you don't really need to have, the first thing you have coming up due after this is going to be a rough outline that's due, for them it's due like Thursday before Thanksgiving. You guys, if you will bring yours in, we have class, okay? This is how it is in the college world versus the high school world. You have class the week of Thanksgiving. You only have it on Monday and Tuesday. We don't go Wednesday and Thursday, but I will be here on Tuesday. So if you bring in your rough outlines to me, we'll go over them, because the rough outline is like the first draft of your paper, and we'll go over that, and I'll work with you one-on-one, because we can do that, spend 5 of you, I can spend 10 minutes and we can get it done, okay? I will count you absent, but I will not be doing anything new on that day, which is a week, 2.5 weeks from now, so, okay. All right, gonna move on to the next one. Let's see. We're at Cameron. Well, some people believe that smoking bans would take away from people's freedom. Tobacco use remains a leading preventable cause of disease and death. Not to mention the healthcare expenses along with it. That it also reduces. Okay, this is a lot of stuff going on. Remains a leading preventable cause. Okay, so smoking bans will lead to fewer smokers in general. Reduces the risk of passive. You got a lot going on here, and none of it reads like a thesis yet. All right, Cameron. So. Smoking bans will lead, I'm going to copy that, so will lead to fewer smokers, lead to fewer, I'm just kind of messing around with what you have, smokers, reducing the, I can't type, the exposure to passive smoke. I don't think that's great, but I'll come back to it. That's a nice thing, you can always mess around. Okay. Smoke would lead to, okay, will lead to reduced health problems for smokers, reduced health problems. Okay.
Miss Thompson?
Okay, I'm coming over to listen, because I can't. I need a speaker on the speaker, so that it can be closer to my ear. Tell me more.
Miss Thompson, I didn't write it like that. It all merged together whenever I submitted it.
That's okay. What you have there is like a paragraph. Was it a list more or less, or what?
My thesis ended at indicating that smoking should be banned, and then after that was my major points.
Okay, what's the major points? Okay, so in a way, smoking, let's do it this way, it's still a little wordy. Smoking should be banned because of the negative effects on health. So that way you would talk about both first-hand and second-hand smokers, the decrease in medical cost. I don't know, I had a mother who had, she didn't have it, she had COPD brought on because she started smoking at 11. And because she and my dad smoked, I smoked from the time I was born, right? Until I quit when they came in and told me my stepfather had lung cancer, so. There's a lot of interesting things that happen when you smoke to your family. Healthcare expenses, I think, it also reduces passive smoking, indicating that smoking should be banned. Okay. I like I see how she's trying to give, while some people believe that smoking bans would take away from people's freedom. Yes, people have the freedom to kill themselves by smoking, correct? So that's okay to put that at the beginning. Tobacco use, well, instead of saying it that way, you need to go, smoking should be tobacco use. So are you talking about also with tobacco use, getting rid of smokeless tobacco? I'm just curious. When you say tobacco use, because that would include all those wonderful things that people put in their mouth and sometimes swallow that stuff. Okay. You're talking about somebody, I tried it once. I put some Copenhagen in my lip once, and I made it from when I put it in my lip to where I threw it up in the bathroom, which is about 2 seconds. So, never my jam. I'll just throw that out there. Okay, so because you'll see that I put in there, and, okay. So we're talking about, okay, decrease in medical costs and on health, decrease in medical costs, and I was going to say something about creating a safer environment. I don't know. I'm just throwing that in. Environment. Okay. That's not the best part. I'll let you come up with the third one. All right, Cameron? Okay. Let's see. Yeah, because there's nothing more. I'm an ex-smoker. I'm not going to deny that. But there's nothing worse for me than having to walk through smokers to get inside a building. And out here, there's that overhang. And so they don't stand 25 feet away. They're out underneath that overhang, which traps the smoking in. Okay. The only other thing, do any of you vape? That's vaping is smoking. It's just different. You might could throw vaping in there because it is an epidemic with young people because it tastes good, right? I don't know. I'm not going to do it. I finally got my lung capacity back up. I smoked for, now while counting the years when I was a child, my parents smoked around me. I mean, I was probably 34. So I smoked for 34 years, and then I've been 32, 33 almost years without smoking. And my oxygen capacity is at 95, 96 most days. So I'm lucky. So you might want to add in vaping. Antonio, let's look at yours. Sports have the ability to improve mental health, build connections, and provide career. Just one R in the middle. Opportunities to keep youth from homelessness. Wait a second. I don't know about your last point. Do you have evidence on that one? I'm not sure that there's going to be much out there about providing career opportunities to keep youth from homelessness. Build connections. What about on your third point, Antonio, using, let's see where we're, I think, yeah, I got to go down. Develop positive character traits instead of keep youth from homelessness. I mean, the odds of somebody coming from a poor family and ending up homeless are good. Their odds of making it into the NFL are not as good. So that may not be a strong third point. Whereas if you talk about developing positive character traits, you can do that. So what did I hit? As third trait, or third point, okay? And here I want to talk about what I saw in my 8 o'clock class where they wanted to use personal experience. There's no I in this, but if you, like on this sports one, if you wanted to talk with your high school coach, I don't have a problem with that. You have to document it, and you can't say, when I interviewed my former high school football coach, Matt Hill, he happens to be the coach at Newdale, okay. You can't do that. It would have to be, according to Coach Matt Hill from Newdale High School, in an interview, he said that he could see how this developed these traits in these students. That could be used as a source. It's not one of your SPC sources, but it could be used as a source. So if you wanted to talk to a high school coach, that's acceptable. All right? So I want you to realize you can do that, but you can't use first person. That's a no-no. Okay? All right, so you're getting there. And it was argumentative. Thank you, Antonio. All right, so we're up to Gabe. The criminal justice system is unjust in its sentencing as it relates to petty crime versus violent crime, ethnicity variation, and defendant's socioeconomic status. You got some big words in there, all right, Gabe? But what part of the problem is that you do not have what's called parallel grammatical structures. So it makes it read a little bit wonky. So you're saying that the criminal justice system should be, we're going to have to make an argument. The criminal justice system should be, I'm trying to, not redone. What do I want to say? Should be fixed. The criminal justice has major problems. You know, you've got to have something in there. You've got to say the criminal justice system doesn't work because it is unjust in its sentencing. Just stop there. Its applicability or its sentencing of, I think ethnicity variation is a very fancy way of saying minorities get it more often. Would y'all, is that what you're meaning? Are you with me there, Gabe? Nod your head. Gabe, where are you? Wave at me. Okay, I see your hand there. Okay. So are you talking about the fact that the penalties assessed to minorities, poor, are harsher than they are for middle class and up and whites? Probably. I'm just saying that. And, oh, there it is right there, defendant's socioeconomic status. Ethnicity, okay, so it's unjust in its sentencing based on the crime committed. That might be better than petty crime versus violent crime. It's unjust in its sentencing. The criminal justice system must be, why can't I think of the word I'm after? Sometimes they just leave me. So change, must be redone, remade, revised. We can talk about revising because it is unjust in its sentencing based on the crime committed. It's an equitable assessment based on ethnicity and its problems with, or it's, well, rich people get lighter crimes than poor people. So, okay. So you've got to do some wording in there. But we just need to make sure that it's argumentative, because that's what I'm saying is that you've got to say that it is bad and must be fixed. That's got to be called for. I almost thought he was doing distancing for a second. Colton. Okay. Social media is increasingly damaging to teenagers' mental health and causes thoughts of inadequacy because of cyberbullying, people's heavily filtered lives, and chasing likes and validation. Okay. You can just say, all right, so it's a little wordy. Social media. I'm trying to think is incredibly damaging to teenagers' mental health. Social media, I mean, is incredibly damaging. There's an argument in there. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. No, it isn't. Okay. To teenagers' mental health. Why don't you just say social media damages teenagers' mental health? See how that's much more concise? We don't need incredibly damaging. Just say social media damages teenagers' mental health by causing thoughts of inadequacy, encouraging cyberbullying, and individuals pursuing validation from it. You see how I kind of cleaned it up a little bit? Because it's got heavily filtered lives. That's the same thing as chasing likes and validation. People don't put the bad things about their lives out there most of the time, do they? I posted a picture of my family over at my house getting set to go trick-or-treating. They like to trick-or-treat in my neighborhood. And my daughter says my mom always takes unflattering pictures of us at Halloween. I was like, my daughter-in-law. I'm like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I just posted it because everybody was in their costumes, so. Okay, so we need to clean it up, make it just a little bit more concise, and by doing that, you're not as limited, you're actually broadening it, so. I'm just copying that so I'll have it. There we go. Social media damages teenagers. I'm trying to think what you said there. Teenagers, mental health, because by causing I'm sitting there looking at causing okay. I'm just going to copy this and then I'll have to try to type it. But you see, I'm causing thoughts of inadequacy. I don't think thoughts of inadequacy are necessarily caused by cyberbullying. Encouraging cyberbullying and making approval from others a primary focus. What do you think of that? I kind of changed it, didn't I? I mean, I like what you say about validation. I mean, I don't really count the number of likes I get when I put something out there. I check to see who likes me or who likes what I posted. So, I don't know. It's just trying to make it a little more concise, not quite so wordy. And actually encouraging cyberbullying and making approval from others a primary focus. So what I was trying to do there was also create parallel grammatical structures, causing, encouraging, and making. So you see how all of those begin with the same kind of verb form, all right? And if you don't like it, you can adapt it, but try to make it a little more concise. Okay, we're up to Briley. Okay, no first person. I know you believe this. So homework is helpful. And no exclamation points at the end of a thesis. That is not necessary. Homework is helpful because it can help. Homework is, let's say, beneficial. Beneficial, CIL. Because it can help students understand the assignments, it improves academic performance, and homework helps with self-discipline. And don't say, and more skills. And homework develops. Like, okay, watch what I'm going to do. Remember, what did I do? Sorry. Okay. I'm going to, in homework, develop positive character traits. That became a little bit broader, didn't it, by saying that? And if I could type it, okay? So now you've got three things. Now you've got it. Homework is beneficial. Do you guys think homework's beneficial? Not no, but hell no, right? Okay. All right, I'm with you there. That's why I don't give a whole lot of homework, except you have to write papers. You don't have time to write papers in class. Okay. Let's see, Andy. She's writing about female athletes should be treated the same as male. Female athletes get the same work and dedication. Okay. I'm not really sure what you're arguing here is that, because you've got a lot of different things going on in here. Are you arguing that women's athletics should be treated equally as with males' athletic competition or athletes? Is that what it is? Is that a yes from Andy or not? Andy, because you've got several different things in there. And you've got reasons. Okay, so. All right, female athlete. Should. I'm going to go with must receive. Sorry, I was going to spell receive wrong. Must receive. Go back up to her. See, this is not an easy topic. Don't receive. I'm having to think about it. I can come up with theses. It just takes me a while sometimes. Female athletes don't receive the same benefits as male ones. I don't like the don't. I think that makes it hard. Should receive the same benefits as male. There's one. See, the information you're giving says they're not getting it, but they need it. Y'all with me? Sometimes how you look at your topic makes it hard to argue it. Okay. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the Y. Why is this not allowing me to highlight what I want to highlight? Okay, there. Okay, now I'm going to go down here to where I was at. I'm going to have to make this smaller so I can see what I'm doing. Female. There we go. Uh-oh. That actually didn't let me copy it. Okay, it should have gone down into the last one. Sometimes it is difficult to work this thing when I've got it blown up so big. Female athletes should be treated the same as athletes. Okay, I'm going to work with what you've got here and try to do it this way instead. Because they, making a little bit, that's not that. They put the same work and dedication to their sport. No, not that one. They are held to a different standard even though they compete on the same level. And and they should be equally compensated. Okay, I'm trying to come up with 3 reasons. And I know the whole point, equally compensated includes the stuff about women's athletics just doesn't get the same kind of coverage because men push everything. We have to watch football. Okay, so I made a few changes, see if that helps you out, all right, Andy? Okay. Bryce, let's see. School can negatively affect the teenage mind if it starts too early. Okay, there's a couple of ways you could interpret that sentence, okay? And what Bryce means is that school should not start at 8 o'clock in the morning. Would y'all agree with that? No, my 8 o'clock class would agree with it. Nobody arrived until 8:10 this morning out of my 4 students. And I'm like, and only 3 of them came. So, but they just kept coming in slowly. I'm like, okay. All right, so we gotta fix that. Okay. All right. I'm gonna copy this. Come up here. Okay. School can negatively affect the teenage mind if the day starts too early. Okay. I think the importance of sleep to a student and how students function when not receiving enough sleep are the same basic topic, okay? Let's go see if we can find anything in the library about it. Hold on. Miss Mara. Oh, Mr. Rathbone, excuse me. Yeah, it sure is when you've got 33. I agree with him. He sent me about the fact that there were so many 5A. I think it's because they have more money. I think that's what's happening there. Okay, I'm going to go into databases. And I don't know if Proposing Viewpoints is going to have anything about students, teenagers in sleep. We'll try it. That's no good. No. Here we go. Look at this. Did you see this one, Bryce? Rise and shine, how school start times affect academic performance. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Okay? You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this and send it to you in a course message, okay? And it's not terribly long. Let's go. Argumentation. Bryce. Article. I don't know if you have that one, but that one looks like a good one, okay? As I look through it, rise and shine. Physiological changes delay the onset of sleep and make it more difficult to wake up early in the morning. Okay. Test scores for students between the age of 8 and 15 who move from one time zone to another and find substantial differences. Okay. This is interesting. This is your brain. This is a teenage brain. Now we know what it looks like. Cool. 2 time zones? Cool. Okay. Oh, wait. Because, and that is PDF. I was going to see if we had a citation. I'll get you the citation too. Okay. That looks like a good article. There we go. Great assignment. So we need to go with school start time should be later in the day because of the negative effects it has on a teen. See, I'm even going to get specific. High school start time on a teen academic performance. Let's see. There was some other stuff in there. Rise and shine. Academic performance. Okay. Oh, I know what I can add in there. Mental health and physical health. Okay, see, now we've got it. Does that make sense what we just did? Because don't we really care about how well they think, how well they perform academically, and definitely how well they do physically. So that would do it. Okay? So I will, let me see. Guess what I can do here? Add notes, net. No, it won't let me attach anything. Wait, will it? Hold on. Insert local file. And what I'm going to do real quick, let me go back to databases. That's not there. Rise and Shine. Yeah, I'm going all the way down to the end of the article. Do y'all see what I'm doing? Where it's still in. Okay, so I'm going back over here to his grade. And there's your citation. Okay. So he got everything in one big fell swoop. By the way, that comes from Macbeth, what I just said. Anybody read Macbeth? Any of y'all read Macbeth in high school? It's a fun one to read. It's so much easier than Hamlet. Next semester we read Hamlet. If you're in my 1302 class, I'll just add it. Okay? You see what we're doing here that we're trying to clean up? So if you don't have one in, trying to get done. Pacer. Teenagers' involvement in sports directly affect their behavior in class, after school hours, and in the workplace. Okay. Okay. All right. So that'll work. Just be sure. Okay, that works. And teenagers' involvement in sports directly, it should be teenagers' involvement affects. It should be an S because you're going off of involvement. And involvement is singular. Okay? So make that an S. So that'll work, Pacer. I'm just scrolling down to where the grade's at. Okay, we're up to, hold on. I know what I need to do. I need to refresh my screen in case anybody else has put one in. There we go. There we go. Lillian, or Lily, right? Did I say it right? Lily. How are we on time? Oh, we're almost out of time. So, just as a heads up, if you didn't get it in, get that 5 extra credit points. Maybe I'll be out there at 9 o'clock on Friday. I'm assuming in Miss Hockenberry's actual classroom, right? Not in that one, but the one across the hall, correct? Okay. I will get through these. The only thing you have due this week is the Chapter 16 quiz, which will be over the 2 student essays on Friday. So you need to have read those essays before you take that quiz, because you've only got 60 minutes on the quiz, and if you try to read the essay and answer the questions at the same time, it may not flow well, okay? So glance over them, know what they're about. And then on Thursday, we need laptops out. We need laptops, some kind of access to Blackboard so we can get to the e-text, because we're going to look at the professional essay in the unit and look at it a little bit. So that should help prepare you. Floyd Data Texas is calling me. It's a spam risk. Hold on, message. Sorry, I can't talk right now. Okay. That's 2 I've gotten today. All right, so I will see you guys Thursday. Okay. Shrink all these screens so I can see.
Your conference is scheduled to end in 2 minutes.
Okay. I'm getting set to send Lily an article.
Your conference is now over. Goodbye.
Bye. Mm.